Listen, everyone, this isn't just another election. It's the election. The one that decides if Canada continues to move forward or falls headfirst into far-right chaos.
You don't have to love everything the Liberals have done, but before you flirt with voting Conservative or staying home, you need to see what's really at stake.
Before we get into it, we've got a message for you. Don't fall for the trolls and the misinformation. Double check the facts before you vote. The more informed you are, the harder you are to manipulate.
Look, I know a lot of Conservatives hate mainstream media, but those outlets have fact checkers, editorial teams and policies, and legal departments. They can't just make things up. That's not how journalism works.
And the debates? Everyone sidesteps questions. Don't judge the sound bites. Go to the actual party platforms and read what they stand for. Start there, then vote with your eyes wide open.
PP isn't just a critic. He's a wrecking ball wrapped in slogans. He spent 20 years voting against the things that help Canadians most.
He's obsessed with deregulation, defunding, and division. He wants to tear it all down, from the CBC to climate policies to the social safety net that you and your parents rely on.
And while he claims to fight for freedom, he stood shoulder to shoulder with the truckers' convoy that was funded by far-right American billionaires. Guys like Thomas Siebel, anonymous crypto bros, and Christian nationalist donors that are funneling cash through Give, Send, Go.
This was not grassroots. This was AstroTurf laid by American extremists. He's not about Canadian values. He's importing American rage wrapped in a Tim Hortons sleeve.
The more you learn about Pierre Poilievre, the less likely you are to vote for him. Because compassion, fairness, and unity, he hits nay every time.
And if you're on the fence, voting NDP, Green, or even thinking of sitting this one out, you need to watch this. It matters. And if you want to make your vote count, go to smartvoting.ca because one click could change everything. Before we talk about Carney, let's set the record straight on Trudeau because every Poilievre supporter loves to shout, "Trudeau broke this country." But facts don't care about slogans.
Trudeau cleaned up Harper's mess, okay? He brought back science, reopened Canada to the world, invested in the middle class, and steered the country through a pandemic without selling us out to private healthcare and billionaires.
He didn't just keep the lights on, he stopped Harper's ghost from bulldozing the whole power grid. And here are some of the things he accomplished. Dental care and prescription for low-income families, seniors, and kids under 18. CERB and wage subsidies that kept Canadians afloat during COVID.
Don't tell me you didn't use it.
He funded truth and reconciliation initiatives that were ignored by Harper. He cut taxes for the middle class and raised them on the wealthiest 1%, and brought unemployment to historic lows pre-COVID and again after recovery.
Was he perfect? No. He stumbled a lot, but he showed up, he fought for Canada, and in the end, he passed the baton to someone who could keep building, not tear it all down. So let's talk about Carney. In just a short time, he has restored calm, credibility, and united Canada. And he has a vision that Canadians can believe in.
This is not a guy who rose through backroom deals. He ran the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England. He stabilized economies. He understands climate finance, global power, and real leadership.
He's pragmatic, progressive, and he's not here to perform. He's here to deliver.
While Pierre is peddling rage and rebellion, Carney's working with premiers, strengthening our institutions, and reminding the world that Canada leads by example, not by yelling into the camera. If you usually vote NDP, we get it. We like Jagmeet Singh. He stood up during COVID, fought for dental care and CERB. But in the end, he caved. The NDP propped up the Liberals, then collapsed the government. Kind of like holding up a tent and then lighting it on fire. The party is fractured and it needs to rebuild.
Just like the Liberals had to rebuild under Harper. It's time for the NDP to refocus. These next 4 years that could be under Carney are a chance for them to rediscover their purpose.
If you're in northern or indigenous communities, we see you. You've supported the NDP for decades, but if the Conservatives get in, it's only going to get worse. So vote Liberal, and we'll all hold them accountable together.
Same goes for Alberta. I was born there, and I want to be able to visit without wondering if I need a bulletproof vest and a Bible to blend in. Alberta doesn't need to become a gun-toting, God-fearing Texas knockoff. It needs investment, respect, and actual leadership.
And for our Bloc friends in Quebec, listen, we know you're proud. And you should be. But if you want to stop Poilievre, the only path is Liberal. Carney respects Quebec. He's working hard on his French. He believes in climate action, culture, and cooperation. The Bloc, they only had the power to split the vote. Poilievre does not want to fix Canada. He wants to flip it into something colder, crueler, and corporatized.
He refused to get top secret security clearance. Flat out. Why? Because if he gets briefed, he can't claim ignorance. He doesn't want to know about foreign interference, like the kind India used to help his party. And if you say he got his clearance 20 years ago, well, a lot has changed in 20 years, people. Who are his donors now?
That's not leadership. That's what we call plausible deniability, with a side of cowardice. Let's take a look at PP's voting record. He's voted against universal pharmacare, paid sick leave even during a pandemic, school food programs, LGBTQ+ rights and indigenous rights, clean drinking water, gender pay equity, student grants, and assault weapon bans. But sure, tell me how he's gonna save Canada.
And let's not forget the truckers convoy. I'll never forgive him for that. It was that far-right US-funded convoy that started the divide in Canada in the first place. He didn't just stand by, he served donuts. He fed the flames while families in Ottawa were trying to sleep through horns blasting and chaos. That wasn't leadership, that was performative rage.
And we can't forget who's in his corner. You got Elon Musk, Danielle Smith, and podcasters who think Alberta should be America's next star on their flag.
Danielle Smith isn't just a premier, she's a full-blown mega separatist doing the podcast circuit with conspiracy theorists and openly fantasizing about Alberta ditching Canada altogether. And Pierre, not a peep about it.
Even Doug Ford threw shade at PP, saying Pierre's campaign manager was a bad call. When Ford, who's not exactly a bastion of nuance, says you made a bad judgment call, like that's saying something.
And let's talk about something that has flown under the radar until recently. At a police conference in May 2024, Pierre Poilievre said that he would make his criminal justice reforms constitutional using whatever tools the Constitution allows him to use. He then added, "I think you know exactly what I mean." That's code for the notwithstanding clause, which is a constitutional nuke meant for emergencies.
He wants to use it to impose consecutive life sentences on mass murderers. But that opens a very dangerous door. Once he uses it there, what's stopping him from using it again on unions, civil rights, or anything that he doesn't like? The notwithstanding clause is similar to executive orders in the US, but executive orders can be challenged and overturned. The notwithstanding clause? No. It lets politicians sidestep the courts entirely.
Canada's Charter of Rights is admired around the world. You don't chip away at it just to look tough. That's how you slide into authoritarianism with a creepy smile. Trump 2.0, anyone?
We all know PP aligns with Trump, and we all know Trump saying he likes liberals is just reverse psychology. Classic Trump.
Truthfully, the Conservatives have always helped the people who already have enough. But what about you? Do you really think PP's crew would have given you CERB, cared about clean water, or supported the environment and healthcare?
We don't have kids, but we still want to fight for a Canada where the water is clean, animals have rights, and the oceans are choking on plastic. Even if this election won't hit us directly, I care about what we leave behind. That's why we're staying and fighting for the country we love. The message here is never Poilievre, because this election, it's about identity, unity, and democracy.
Canada is the best country on earth, and we can attest. We've traveled extensively to 130 30 of them. So don't sit this one out. Don't split the vote. Vote smart, vote informed, and vote for a future that still looks like Canada. And if you're a PP fan, please leave a message to tell us off and tell us why you like PP. We really do want to hear from you. But most importantly, talk to someone in person, not online. Share this with a friend who's undecided and challenge the disinformation. Call out the lies, read the platform, and read the Canadian Charter of Rights.
This is how we protect Canada, together. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and click on the bell for notifications so you can get your weekly dose of truth, sarcasm, and unapologetic Canadian democracy.